Good morning to all. Welcome to the Diamond Group of Institutions NEET and JSET online classes. Today's class respiration in plants. In that some portions we have to discuss. Those are first portion. Consider the first reaction of TCA cycle. So TCA cycle also called as citric acid cycle, or we are also called as a Krebs cycle. We know those are in that aerobic respiration, glycolysis, oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid, Krebs cycle, and electron transport system. These are the steps involved in aerobic respiration. Out of the steps, Krebs cycle we are also called as a TCA cycle. About the TCA cycle, they mention one equation or reaction: acetyl-CoA plus OAA, oxaloacetic acid, and water. They can give into the A, gives rise to A and acetyl-CoA. We have to identify that A component it is. What is that? What is true about compound A? See now here, option A, first product of TCA cycle. Option B, tricarboxylic acid, tricarboxylic acid and 6-carbon compound. And option C, it undergoes reorganization in the presence of enzyme aconitase to form cis-aconitic acid, and all of this. See here, this is the first step of the Krebs cycle. Continuation in the aerobic respiration, oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid. Here, acetyl-CoA will be going to form. These acetyl-CoA can combine into the oxaloacetic acid. Acetyl-CoA is a 2-carbon compound. Oxaloacetic acid is a 4-carbon compound. In the presence of citric synthetase enzyme, they can form the product. The product it is citric acid. Citric acid, otherwise we are also called as tricarboxylic acid. So here, these are the citric acid, it's contained as a 6-carbon. So based on the reaction, acetyl-CoA it's a 4-carbon compound, and acetyl-CoA is a 2-carbon compound. Oxaloacetic acid is a 4-carbon compound. 4 plus 2 combined together, they can form here citric acid. It's a 6-carbon compound. So the first, what is that true about the compound A? First product of TCA cycle, yes, it's the first product of TCA cycle, that is citric acid. And option B, tricarboxylic acid and 6-carbon compound. This is also called as, in these citric acid, 3 carboxylic groups are there present, so that's why we are called as tricarboxylic acid, and it's contained as a 6-carbon. So, and option C, it undergo reorganization in the presence of an enzyme aconitase to form cis-aconitic acid. See here, the formation of citric acid we are going to use as a water. After the formation of the citric acid, means in the Krebs cycle only, next reaction means second reaction, the citric acid undergoing as a dehydration by the loss of water, they can form as a cis-aconitic acid in the presence of aconitase enzyme. So it undergoes the reorganization in the presence of enzyme. That enzyme name is aconitase, that to formation of cis-aconic acid. So what are the options are they given regarding equation? All of the option A, B, C are they belongs into our A, B, C are correct only. So these all of the options belongs to Krebs cycle. So answer is D, all of this. And next question, oxidative decarboxylation occur during the formation of, oxidative decarboxylation occur during the formation of. So here, these are the steps: oxidation and decarboxylation. So both of the reactions are, it should be takes place in the given options. So here, oxidation means removal of hydrogens, decarboxylation, removal of CO2, carbon dioxide. See now option A, they given as citric acid and succinic acid, citric acid and oxalosuccinic acid, acetyl-CoA and succinyl-CoA, and option D, oxaloacetic acid and oxalosuccinic acid. So by the seeing of the option A, citric acid and succinic acid. So we have to discuss means it have take place into the oxidative decarboxylation. Both of the oxidation and decarboxylation should be take place in the reactions. So here formation of citric acid, this is the first step. In the first step, oxidation and decarboxylation will not take place. So option A will not correct. And option B also, they given as a citric acid. To the formation of citric acid, oxidation and decarboxylation will not take place. So option B also will not get. And option C. So to the formation of acetyl CoA. So when we seen the steps involved in aerobic respiration, that steps involve the aerobic respirations of glycolysis, oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid, Krebs cycle and electron transport system. So in this, after the formation of after completion of glycolysis, 2 moles of pyruvic acid will be formed. The 2 moles of pyruvic acid can undergo into the next step of oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid. Here removal of hydrogen molecules and they can form into NADH and H plus molecules are formed and CO2 molecule will be released out. So pyruvic acid is a 3 carbon compound. 2 moles of pyruvic acid will be drawn to converted by the loss of 2 moles of CO2 and they can form 2 moles of acetyl CoA in the presence of CoA. So by the supplying acetyl CoA, they can form the conversion of pyruvic acid into the 2 moles of acetyl CoA in the presence of pyruvic acid dehydrogenase enzyme and pyruvic acid decarboxylase enzyme, different types of the enzymes and involved in this of the reaction of oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid. So option C once stated is acetyl CoA formation. Here acetyl CoA is formed. In this reaction, oxidation takes place, means removal of hydrogen molecules are occur and decarboxylation, removal of carbon dioxide also will be seen in the reaction of second aerobic respiration. And next, succinyl CoA. So here succinyl CoA, this reaction will seen in Krebs cycle. So now in the Krebs cycle, alpha ketoglutaric acid. In the step of alpha ketoglutaric acid, it's a 5 carbon compound. It's converted into the succinyl CoA. So succinyl CoA is a 4 carbon compound. Alpha ketoglutaric acid, it's a 5 carbon compound. So by the removal of carbon dioxide molecules and also here the removal of hydrogen molecules in the form of NADH plus H molecules by the supplying of succinyl CoA. So this alpha ketoglutaric acid is converted into a succinyl CoA. In this reaction also oxidation and decarboxylation both reactions are takes place. So comparing to the A and B, in the first reaction, first A they given as citric acid formation. In the citric acid formation, oxidation and decarboxylation will not take place. And the option C only acetyl CoA and succinyl CoA formation, oxidation and decarboxylation takes place in the conversion of pyruvic acid into the acetyl CoA and alpha ketoglutaric acid is converted into succinyl CoA respectively. And option D once set it is oxaloacetic acid and the oxalosuccinic acid. So conversion of oxaloacetic acid into the oxalosuccinic acid, here the oxidation only takes place. Decarboxylation will not occur. So that's why answer is C, acetyl CoA and the succinyl CoA. And next question, out of 38 molecules of ATP produced by aerobic respiration of glucose, the breakup in ATP production in glycolysis P, pyruvate to acetyl CoA formation Q and Krebs cycle are as follows. See here, they are asking how many number of the ATP molecules are formed in a aerobic respiration. That aerobic respiration steps are glycolysis, pyruvate to acetyl CoA and Krebs cycle. Glycolysis they given as a P, pyruvate to acetyl CoA it's given as a R and pyruvate to acetyl CoA they given as a Q and Krebs cycle they given as a R. See now, in these are the reactions, glycolysis, oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid and this is the Krebs cycle. Now you see, In the process of glycolysis, 1 mole of glucose is converted into the 2 moles of pyruvic acid. 1 mole of glucose is converted into the 2 moles of pyruvic acid. So there we have to identify how many number of ATP molecules are there formed. So 1 mole of glucose is converted into the 2 moles of pyruvic acid. In these, 2 ATP molecules are then synthesized by substrate level phosphorylation, and 2 NADH2 molecules are there synthesized by the process of oxidation. And here, oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid. In the process of oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid, 2 moles of NADH2 is synthesized, and in a Krebs cycle 2 moles of FADH2, 2 moles of ATP, 6 moles of NADH2 is synthesized. So here ATP molecules are there formed directly, we are called as substrate level phosphorylation. So they are asking NADH2 molecules are, they should be converted into the ATP molecules at the electron transfer system, after the electron transfer system. So now you see each NADH2 molecule, each one of the NADH2 molecule, it is equals to 3 ATP molecules. So now you can consider this P indicates as a glycolysis. Here already 2 are formed, 2 plus 4, 2 plus 6, 8 ATP molecules, and here 2 into 3, 6 ATP molecules. FADH2 molecules are equals to 2 ATP molecules only, 2 into 2, 4 ATP, and 6 into 3, 18 ATP. Here 18 ATP plus 4, 22 plus 2, 24 ATPs. So Krebs cycle total 24 ATP molecules, oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid 6 ATP molecules, and glycolysis 8 ATP molecules respectively. Now PQR should be 8, 6, 24. 8, 6, 24, answer B. The next question, in respiration, 2 phosphoglyceric acids are formed in glycolysis, none in Krebs cycle. Option B, 6 phosphoglyceric acid in glycolysis, 3 phosphoglyceric acids in Krebs cycle. Option C, 8 phosphoglyceric acid in glycolysis, 3 phosphoglyceric acid in Krebs cycle. And option 4, D, phosphoglyceric acid formation does not occur in respiration. So this question based on the glycolysis, we know that in the process of glycolysis, 1 mole of glucose is converted into 2 moles of pyruvic acid. In this reaction of glycolysis, until the cleavage step, after the cleavage step, so fructose 1,6 bisphosphate is converted into 1 mole of DHAP, dihydroxyacetone phosphate, and 1 mole of glycerol 3 phosphate is formed. After the formation of 1 mole of glycerol 3 phosphate, it can undergoing as a oxidation that can form into 1,3, 1 mole of 1,3 bis phosphoglyceric acid is formed. After that, phosphorylation, 3 phosphoglyceric acid is formed. After that, 2 phosphoglyceric acid. By the process of isomerization, 2 phosphoglyceric acid is formed. In respiration, they are given as, in respiration, 2 phosphoglyceric acids are formed in glycolysis, none in Krebs cycle. You can see here 2 phosphoglyceric acid. 2 phosphoglyceric acids here. 2 phosphoglyceric acids are there formed by the conversion of 3 phosphoglyceric acid. It is the isomerization reaction. After the oxidation and the phosphorylation steps in a glycolysis, 3 phosphoglyceric acid is converted into the 2 phosphoglyceric acid. The 2 phosphoglyceric acid formation we are seeing in a glycolysis. Like 2 phosphoglyceric acid formation, we are not seeing into the Krebs cycle because we know the cycle TCA cycle. So in the TCA cycle, intermediate component of the phosphorylate acid formation will not take place. So answer it is in the option A. Two phosphorylate acids are formed in glycolysis, none in a Krebs cycle. So here two phosphorylate acids are how they are formed. 1 mole of glycerol 3-phosphate is converted into the 1 mole of 2-phosphorylate acid. And after that DHAP, again it can convert into the glycerol 3-phosphate. So DHAP again convert into the glycerol 3-phosphate means again 1 mole of 2-phosphorylate acid is formed. So total 2 moles of phosphorylate acids are formed in glycolysis, none in a Krebs cycle. That's the answer A. Next question. Select the correct option to fill up the blanks in the following statements. Statement 1. In both lactic acid and alcohol fermentation, not much energy is released, less than that dash a percent of energy in glucose is out of released out, and not all of it's trapped in high energy bond. See now here, respiration, it was classified into two types based upon the involvement of oxygen, that is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So here the lactic acid fermentation and alcohol fermentation, it belongs into the anaerobic respiration, means oxygen involvement is absent. So in that aerobic respiration, oxidation of food metals are take place completely, and the much amount of energy is released, that is 38 ATP molecules. Means 686 kilocalories of energy is utilized. Out of the 686 kilocalories of energy, some amount of the energy is used to form as a 38 ATP molecules. But when we see in anaerobic respiration, food metals are not completely oxidized, intermediate components are formed, that is fermentation, that can form as a lactic acid or alcohol, ethyl alcohol formation. At the time of this anaerobic respiration, less amount of the energy only released. That less amount of the energy, it is represented as a 2 ATP molecules. When we are going to compare into the 38 ATP molecules, the 2 ATP molecules of energy only released in anaerobic respiration. So that's why it's a very less than into aerobic respiration. That less than amount, it should be present as less than 7%. Less than 7% of the energy is released. That energy is trapped in the form of ATP. And option 2, yeast poison themselves to death when the concentration of alcohol reaches about the percentage. At ethyl alcohol fermentation, we are going to use as a yeast. Yeast can use to the formation of alcohol from the food materials, and here yeast can produce the alcohol naturally if the alcohol concentration is increased in a solution or by the process of fermentation. These alcohol concentration is poisonous into the yeast. So here by the process of natural fermentation will be going to produce less than 13% of oxygen. Here less than 13% of the oxygen, otherwise up to 13% of the oxygen only, up to 13% of the alcohol only we are going to produce naturally by the involvement of yeast. If the more than 13% of alcohol is there or it was formed, means it is poisonous into the yeast surviving. So that's why naturally 13% of alcohol or less than 13% of alcohol only formed by the involvement of yeast fermentation. And option 3, the complete oxidation of pyruvate by the stepwise removal of all the hydrogen atoms, leaving dash C molecules of CO2. If we are taking into the complete oxidation of pyruvate acid, complete oxidation of pyruvate acid belongs into complete oxidation of pyruvate acid we are seen in a aerobic respiration. That aerobic respiration steps are glycolysis, oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate acid, Krebs cycle. So now the complete oxidation of pyruvate acid, after the glycolysis, it was enter into the oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate acid. Oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate acid, and here there the oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate acid, if you are taken into the 1 molecule of pyruvate acid, 1 mole of CO2 will be released. And if you are taken into the 2 moles of pyruvate acid, 2 moles of CO2 will be released. And next it will be Krebs cycle. In the Krebs cycle also, if you are to enter the 1 mole of pyruvic acid into the Krebs cycle in the form of 1 mole of acetyl-CoA, 2 moles of CO2 will be released. So you are taken as a 2 moles of pyruvic acid, they can release into the 2 moles of acetyl-CoA and they can converted into the 2 moles of carbon, they can release into the 2 moles of carbon dioxide in a step of Krebs cycle. So here, complete oxidation of pyruvic acid, the complete oxidation we are seeing in a aerobic respiration in a stepwise removal of hydrogen atoms leaving the molecules of CO2. At the time here, the complete oxidation of pyruvic acid, 3 molecules of carbon dioxide will be released. 3 molecules of CO2 will be going to released. If the 3 molecules also, that is condition supply there, 1 molecule of pyruvic acid, we are taken as a 1 mole of pyruvic acid, it is equals into the 3 moles of CO2. If you are taken into the 2 moles of pyruvic acid, it is equals to 6 moles of CO2. And option 4, during the conversion of pyruvic acid to acetyl-CoA, dash D molecules of NADH2 are produced from the metabolism of 1 molecule of pyruvic acid. Here also, conversion of pyruvic acid into the acetyl-CoA. That's the second step. Glycolysis. After the glycolysis, 2 moles of pyruvic acid is formed. The 2 moles of pyruvic acid is converted into the 2 moles of acetyl-CoA. So in these are the step. Here we are taken into the 1 mole of pyruvic acid to the formation of 1 mole of acetyl-CoA, 1 mole of CO2 and 1 mole of NADH2 is synthesized. If you are taken into the 2 moles of pyruvic acid, 2 moles of acetyl-CoA is formed and 2 moles of CO2 and 2 moles of NADH2 will be done to synthesized. But in the question only they mention to the form metabolism of 1 mole of or 1 molecule of pyruvic acid. If you are taking into the 1 molecule of pyruvic acid, 1 molecule of acetyl-CoA is formed, 1 molecule of CO2 is released, 1 molecule of NADH2 only releasing takes place. So now based on that option, so in the option 1, lactic acid fermentation and the ethyl alcohol fermentation, less amount of the energy is released. That less amount of the energy, it is less than 7% of energy. A and D having as a 7, sorry, B and D that can show us as 7%. And option 2, yeast poison themselves to death when the concentration of alcohol reaches about the dash percentage. If the alcohol concentration is increased in the ethyl alcohol fermentation, yeast organism will be going to die. That alcohol concentration should be present as 13%. If more than 13% of alcohol is there, means it is poisonous to the yeast. So B 13%. And next, the complete oxidation of pyruvate by the stepwise removal of hydrogen atoms, leaving the number of molecules. In the B and D option also, they given as a 3 molecules of CO2 only. And fourth option, during the conversion of pyruvic acid to acetyl-CoA, pyruvic acid is converted into 1 mole of pyruvic acid or 1 molecule of pyruvic acid is converted into the 1 molecule of acetyl-CoA. How many molecules of NADH2 molecules? How many molecules of NADH2 is synthesized? They given as in the B option D2, D option D1. Here the question mentioned as 1 molecule only, so that's why 1 molecule of NADH2 only synthesized. So that's why answer it is D. In the next question, if hexokinase, an enzyme that catalyzes the first step reaction in glycolysis, is blocked, what will be the impact on glycolysis? See now, the glycolysis, first step it is glucose, 1 molecule of glucose is converted into the, by the process of phosphorylation, we are going to supply the ATP molecules. Glucose is converted into glucose 6-phosphate. There hexokinase enzyme is involved. So now glucose is converted into the glucose 6-phosphate in the presence of hexokinase enzyme. So if an hexokinase enzyme that catalyzes the first step in a glycolysis, yes, it was blocked, what will be the impact of glycolytic pathway? If this hexokinase enzyme is blocked, conversion of glucose into glucose 6-phosphate will be going to not take place. If the glucose is not converted into the glucose 6-phosphate, next reaction will not take place. So options are given as glycolysis will be going to, glycolytic will speed up glycolysis will slow down, glycolysis will stop, and glycolysis will occur normally. So if the hexokinase enzyme is blocked, conversion of glucose into glucose 6 phosphate will not take place. So automatically glycolysis is stops. Answer C. The next question, the net gain of energy from one molecule of sucrose in aerobic respiration is, so one molecule of sucrose is equals to how many molecules of ATP in aerobic respiration? We know that in aerobic respiration, 1 mole of or 1 molecule of glucose it is equals to 38 ATP molecules, can produce into the 38 ATP molecules. So here 1 molecule of glucose means sucrose equals to glucose and fructose means 38 into 2 will be that as a 76 ATP molecules. Based upon the options here, they given A 18 ATP, B 60 ATP, C 38 ATP, D 80 ATP. So here actually exactly for the sucrose molecule, by involvement of sucrose molecule in aerobic respiration, 76 ATP molecules are formed. But here the option was not given exactly 76, related to the 76 it's 80 ATP only, so answer is D. Next question, the end product of oxidative phosphorylation is. So here in a respiration, production of ATP or synthesis of ATP by the involvement of oxygen is called as a oxidative phosphorylation. It takes place in mitochondria. Photophosphorylation is there, that is also synthesis of ATP, that is in the presence of light, it takes place in chloroplast. So photophosphorylation is belongs into the photosynthesis, oxidative phosphorylation is belongs into the respiration. So the end products of oxidative phosphorylation it is. So they given as NADH, oxygen, ADP, ATP and the water molecules. So here aerobic respiration by the three steps as glycolysis, oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid and Krebs cycle, NADH2 molecules will be drawn to produced. NADH2 molecules and FADH2 molecules. So these are the NADH2 molecules, glycolysis 2, oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid 2 and the Krebs cycle 6. Total 10 NADH2 molecules, 2 FADH2 molecules. These are the NADH2 molecules and FADH2 molecules are they have convert into the ATP molecules by the involvement of different types of the complex molecules. Those are located at the mitochondria inner membrane. Inner membrane of the mitochondria contain as different types of complexes. Those are complex 1 to 5. We are seeing in aerobic respiration, and these all of the NADH2 molecules and FADH2 molecules are they will be undergoing as a they will be known to undergoing as a oxidative oxidative processes, and this can donate the protons. The protons will be drawn to move from the matrix into the intermembrane space. There they can produce the ATP. Finally, in the oxidative phosphorylation, ATP molecules are then produced, and by the conversion of NADH2 molecules and FADH2 molecules into the ATP, there electrons will be don't release, that electrons will don't received by the oxygen molecules, and finally these oxygen molecules they can receive the electrons, and these electrons and oxygen molecule and proton molecules are combined together, they can form as a water. That water is called as molecular water. So end products of oxidative phosphorylation is ATP and water molecular water we call as. So answer is D. And next, which one is correct sequence in glycolysis? So in the glycolysis, which is the correct sequence? They given as A, glucose 6 phosphate, phosphoenol pyruvic acid, 3 phosphoglycerolide and 3 phosphoglyceric acid. So here in a glycolysis, glucose is converted into glucose 6 phosphate. It's converted into the glucose 6 phosphate is converted into fructose 6 phosphate. Fructose 6 phosphate is converted into fructose 1 gamma 6 bisphosphate, and it can undergoing as a cleavage mechanism that can form into DHAP and glycerolide 3 phosphate. Glycerolide 3 phosphate, and they are converted into 3 phosphoglyceric acid, and it's converted into 1-3 bis phosphoglyceric acid. It's converted into 2-phosphoglyceric acid. Yes. Your glycerol 3 phosphate is converted into 1-3 bis phosphoglyceric acid, and this 1-3 bis phosphoglyceric acid is converted into 3-phosphoglyceric acid, 2-phosphoglyceric acid, phosphoenol pyruvate acid, and pyruvate acid. That's the sequence here. See now, glucose 6 phosphate. Here the glucose 6 phosphate, and they given as a phosphoenol pyruvate acid. Here the last it is a phosphoenol pyruvate acid. And next to see glucose 6 phosphate, 3 phosphoglyceraldehyde. 3 phosphoglyceraldehyde means here only we call as 3 phosphoglyceraldehyde. Later 3 phosphoglyceric acid means here 3 phosphoglyceraldehyde is converted into 1-3 bis phosphoglyceric acid. Later 3 phosphoglyceric acid, 2 phosphoglyceric acid, and finally phosphoenol pyruvate acid. That's the sequence. And now you see glucose 6 phosphate and phosphoenol pyruvate acid. This is the first step and this is the last step. And glucose 6 phosphate, 3 phosphoglyceric acid, 3 phosphoglyceraldehyde. Here 3 phosphoglyceric acid is formed after the formation of 3 phosphoglyceraldehyde. So the sequence of the glycolysis it is glucose 6 phosphate, 3 phosphoglyceraldehyde, 3 phosphoglyceric acid, and phosphoenol pyruvate acid. Answer it is D. And next, refer to the given equation. So here question from the respiratory quotient RQ value. So we can estimate the respiratory quotient value by the using of the formula amount of CO2 is evolved by amount of O2 consumed. Based upon this formula, we can estimate the RQ value of the components. So here the RQ value of the given component it is this component name it is tripalmitic acid. So these RQ values are carbohydrates RQ value it is 1, fats RQ value it's less than 1, proteins RQ value it is less than 1. So now here the tripalmitic acid is a fat or oil we don't represent. So this contain as a less than 1 here. They given as options. Option A RQ value of the tripalmitic acid. Tripalmitic acid is a fat or oil. So oils and fats they contain as a RQ value is less than 1 only. So 1 RQ value we can see into the carbohydrates. It's not a carbohydrate. So option A 1, B 0.7, C 1.45, and the D 1.62. Organic acids they contain as a more than 1 RQ value. So oils and the proteins and fats they contain as a less than 1 value of the RQ. So answer it is B 0.7. And the next question, identify the correct terms for the given statements and select the correct option. So here the option 1, sudden increase in the rate of respiration during the ripening of fruit. So at the time of fruit ripening will be that as a that is ethylene or ethylene at the time of ethylene release or ripening of the fruit gases will be released in take place. In these are the ethylene character will be get as a respiratory climate. So here at the time of fruit ripening climate on climate will be going to the temperature will be going to increase. So by the increasing of the rate of respiration automatically that the temperature will be going to increase in that area. So sudden increase in the rate of respiration during the ripening of the fruit it's considering as a respiratory climatic or climatic respiration is a character of ethylene. And option 2, reduction of the consumption of respiratory substrate when the mode of respiration is changed from the anaerobic respiration into aerobic. So here that anaerobic respiration, the mode of the respiration can change from the anaerobic into the aerobic, that is we call as a, that is we are going to represent as a Pasteur effect. And option 3 they given as respiratory oxidation of carbohydrates. So for the respiration, respiratory substrates are that involved. Based on the involvement of respiratory substrates, This respiration, it was classified into two types, that is floating respiration and protoplasmic respiration. When we call as a floating respiration, in these are the floating respiration, respiratory substrates are carbohydrates and fats. So at the time of the respiration, respiratory substrates are carbohydrates and fats. We call as such type of respiration as a floating respiration. In the protoplasmic respiration, it is. So at the time of respiration, respiratory substrates are proteins. Proteins can act as a respiratory substrates. That respiration we call as a protoplasmic respiration. So option 3 they given as respiratory oxidation of carbohydrates and fats. It's called as a floating respiration. So option 1, sudden increase the rate of respiration during the ripening of the fruit, we call as a climatic respiration. And option 2 they given as reduction in the consumption of the respiratory substrate, that is conversion of anaerobic respiration into aerobic respiration, we call as a Pasteur effect. And option 3, respiratory oxidation of carbohydrates and fats, it's called as a floating respiration. So here Pasteur effect, which is 2, they given as 2 for the B and D option. And respiratory climate, respiratory climate is 1 only, so here the one option we are seeing as a 2 and a 3. See here, for the respiratory climate it's 2 only, so answer it is B. And floating respiration is the third option, carbohydrates and fats will be don't involve, and climatic respiration is 1, answer it's B.